I've never done anything like this.
Blake Lively is in an absolute meltdown after Nicole Kidman publicly dragged her through the mud and casually aired out her dirty secrets in a savage live interview. Normally, Nicole minds her own Oscar-winning business, but when Blake messed with her girl Sydney Sweeney, oh, it got personal real quick.
I would never actually do this, like ever. But I think it's really important for people to see how words actually affect people, because it's really fucked up.
Euphoria star Sydney Sweeney broke down in tears on an emotional live stream.
And the way Nicole clapped back with that calm, icy elegance, iconic doesn't even begin to describe it. And believe me when I say Nicole Kidman is not someone you throw under the bus and expect silence. She's not built that way. Hollywood's had its fair share of divas and drama queens, but Nicole, she's in a category of her own. You don't get a decades-long career, Oscar wins, and industry respect by playing nice. She's graceful, yes, but also razor sharp. And if there's one thing everyone in the industry knows, it's this. Nicole doesn't forget. She watches, she waits, and when the time's right, she speaks. And when she does, it's not subtle. It's final. Now here's where things start boiling. Nicole recently recorded a tell-all interview. It's not even public yet, but insiders, those quiet, anxious Hollywood types who usually leak scripts and scandals, are in full-blown panic mode. Why? Because apparently, Nicole didn't just talk. She exposed. Full names, timelines, patterns of manipulation, all laid out like a courtroom opening statement. There was no damage control PR fluff. The teaser that's already floating around sums up the whole tone. Fame isn't the problem. Lying about who you destroy to get it, that's the problem. Now tell me that doesn't sound like a direct shot. And yes, Blake Lively's name came up, but it wasn't a passing reference. According to those who've seen the footage, Blake was the centerpiece. Nicole allegedly took apart the narrative that Blake has built for years, piece by piece. It wasn't messy. It was clinical, like watching a scandal being dissected under a microscope. So why did Nicole finally decide to detonate the truth bomb now? It wasn't clout. It wasn't revenge. It was Sydney Sweeney.
Why is this happening?
Nicole's had Sydney's back for a while now. They've worked together behind the scenes, and it's not just a mentor-mentee thing. It's personal. So when Blake allegedly started spreading whispers that Sydney was sabotaging her marriage, Nicole wasn't having it. Especially since, according to sources, those leaked emails Blake blamed Sydney for were being circulated by Blake's own team. That's the kind of plot twist even Netflix wouldn't dare write. And then came the accusation that Sydney tried to seduce Blake's husband. That was it. That was the moment Nicole reportedly told her team, "This ends now." Because let's be clear, this wasn't about one woman lying about another. This was about an entire strategy of deflection, manipulation, and image control that finally cracked.
I would never actually do this, like ever. But I think it's really important for people to see how words actually affect people, because it's really fucked up.
Nicole saw through it all. She saw the pattern. Every time Blake doesn't get her way, someone else's career mysteriously suffers. She uses smiles like weapons and PR like armor. But this time, the damage didn't stick. Because Nicole Kidman wasn't just defending a friend. She was clearing the air with a match and a gas can. And, in doing so, she made it clear. The Blake Lively era of silent sabotage is over. There's a reason Hollywood insiders stopped calling it a rumor and started calling it a strategy. Because what Nicole Kidman revealed in that still unreleased interview isn't gossip. It's surgical exposure. When Nicole started talking about Blake Lively's perfect marriage, it wasn't just shade. It was a data-backed, time-stamped demolition of the carefully crafted narrative Blake's built over the past decade. And it started with a name Nicole didn't say lightly: Hugh Jackman. According to Nicole, Blake has known for years that her husband, yes, Ryan Reynolds, is secretly entangled with Hugh Jackman. The timeline? Nicole traced it back to early 2021, during the filming gaps between Free Guy and The Adam Project. The connection wasn't based on rumors in the tabloids. It was allegedly supported by location data, overlapping project schedules, and what Nicole called shared retreats that were deliberately unpublicized. More damning? Nicole claims Blake not only knew, but used this as leverage, specifically as blackmail material to control Ryan's PR direction and keep her own image clean. The quote she allegedly dropped was brutal. She didn't care who he loved, as long as she controlled the love story. Then, Nicole went one step further. She said, bluntly, "Their kids know." Not just suspicions, not vague emotional distance. She claims Blake and Ryan haven't lived together in over a year and only appear together when there's a brand deal or a contractually obligated appearance. Nicole even referenced one specific event, the 2023 Cannes Lions Festival, where Blake and Ryan posed like the it couple, but were allegedly staying in separate suites 14 minutes apart. And before anyone could call it speculation, Nicole clarified, she has receipts. 3 years of them. Calendar traces, witness quotes, and, yes, screenshots. But Nicole didn't stop at dismantling the marriage. She went after the entire lifestyle. She called it a hologram, a brand built not on happiness or truth, but on manipulating what the audience thinks is happening. She doesn't live a life, Nicole said. She manages a perception. And in a town where perception is everything, that statement alone felt like a kill shot. Then came what insiders are now calling the Baldoni incident. During the early development stages of It Ends With Us, before Sydney Sweeney was even loosely attached, Blake allegedly inserted herself into a private meeting at Lionsgate's Culver Studios lot. The year was 2022, early March. Justin Baldoni, who was both directing and starring in the adaptation, had brought in early drafts to present to the team. Nicole claims Blake showed up uninvited, armed with mock audition footage and a full PR rollout plan, pitching herself as the family-safe, mainstream face the project needed. But here's where it turned sour. When Justin politely declined, citing the importance of casting someone closer in age to the character's backstory, Blake reportedly flipped. According to Nicole, Blake threatened to rework the casting package entirely and subtly implied she had alternate funding lined up. The coded message? If she couldn't get the role, she'd replace the co-star. Nicole said it without blinking. She meant Sydney. That wasn't drama. That was a calculated chess move that Nicole had clearly watched one too many times. Nicole didn't mince words either. When asked why Blake behaves this way, her response was immediate. She wants what she can't have. And if she can't have it, she tries to destroy it. And suddenly, it all clicked. From sneaking into projects at the last minute to hijacking casting rumors, this wasn't desperation. It was design. But the most disturbing part wasn't Blake's obsession with taking roles. It was how far she was willing to go to erase competition. Nicole claimed that around mid-2023, Blake's team began circulating negative tips about Sydney Sweeney to entertainment outlets. Not direct accusations, just soft poisoning. Words like unprofessional, fragile, and difficult started surfacing in blind items. One even claimed Sydney had conflicts with creative leadership on a mystery streaming project. Nicole's words were sharp. That wasn't gossip. That was planted. Nicole said the language used in those leaks was far too familiar. That's Blake's narrative style, she added. Smile while stabbing. But Nicole didn't just sit and watch it happen. She made moves. Fast. She reportedly reached out to Apple TV execs, shut down press access, and forced a script rewrite to remove any remaining trace of Blake's involvement from the upcoming Inheritance series. Emails were pulled, contracts quietly revised. Blake's name was scrubbed not with drama, but with precision. And Sydney? She didn't release a statement. She didn't clap back. She simply disappeared from the conflict entirely. Nicole handled the front line, and that's where things got poetic. Because the woman often criticized for being too cold had just saved another actress's career, not with noise, but with silence. What Blake didn't expect was Nicole treating this like a pattern, one that's gone unchecked for years, one that no longer fits in the industry Nicole and Reese are now shaping. Blake Lively's meltdown didn't come with a bang. It came with a timeline, a quiet, systematic unraveling that started just 4 days after Nicole Kidman's interview clips began circulating among industry insiders. Her Instagram, normally a carousel of hyper-curated lifestyle images and brand placements, went dark. No behind-the-scenes shots, no witty captions, no promotional shout-outs. For someone who averaged 5 posts a week in partnership windows, it was a blackout. According to engagement tracking from Social Blade, her activity flatlined for 6 days, something that hadn't happened since the A Simple Favor press junket in 2018. Her team tried to pivot, sliding out vague, feel-good statements to media. She's focusing on family. She's choosing quiet. But the problem? No one was buying it, because everyone already knew what had happened. It wasn't just followers going quiet. The pullback was industrial. Her go-to stylist, yes, the one who dressed her for the 2022 Met Gala, suddenly unfollowed her, deleted 2 tagged posts, and when Harper's Bazaar reached out for an updated lookbook contribution, the stylist's office replied with, "Not available for Lively's content cycle." Even fan pages, those die-hard Blake leavers that usually defend her in every thread, had gone dormant. One of the biggest accounts, @BlakeDaily, didn't post for 10 straight days. Their comment section summed it up. It's like she disappeared without anyone noticing. On April 21st, 2024, Apple TV Plus quietly uploaded the official trailer for Inheritance. No countdown, no rollout, just a title card and a press link. Nicole Kidman, Sydney Sweeney, Reese Witherspoon, equal billing. No Blake, no archival footage, not even a hint of her name in the metadata. And yet, it trended globally on social media within 11 minutes of going live. The scene that got everyone talking? The last 12 seconds. A woman walks into an empty room, stares at a blank wall where a picture once hung, and says, "It's not missing. It just doesn't belong here anymore." The quote spread like wildfire. Editors clipped it, subtitled it, reposted it with cryptic captions. Within hours, the line was being memed as a breakup anthem, a career eulogy, a PR masterstroke. Later that week, Nicole was asked directly about the line in a follow-up feature. Her answer? That wasn't fiction. No elaboration, no denial, just confirmation. And it hit harder than any headline. Multiple sources now claim that when Blake watched the full episode during a private screener event, she broke down, not because she was called out directly, but because she wasn't in it at all. There was no attack to defend, no fight to respond to. Just absence. Cold, quiet, deliberate omission. And that's when it clicked. So, was this the quietest Hollywood takedown we've ever seen, or just the start of something bigger? Drop your thoughts in the comments.